Hey everyone, Jinx OJ here with allegedly the leaked roster of Street Fighter 6. I know I'm a little bit behind in this one, but I'm here now, so don't worry. If you have an issue with spoilers, I have no idea why you clicked on this video. This is your spoiler alert warning. If you don't want to know, now is your chance to leave. Okay, here we go. So, as you guys know, the Street Fighter timeline is kind of all over the place. I believe it goes Street Fighter 1, Alphas, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and I want to say Street Fighter 3, then Street Fighter 6. At least many of us believe Street Fighter 6 is going to be the newest entry in the current timeline. It could very well be somewhere in the middle somewhere. Who knows? But I wanted to reiterate that because I do think that may play a factor into why the characters look the way they do. So there's been mixed opinions on this image for various reasons. Some people are excited. I think Capcom made a statement saying people are excited. A good PR move. But then some people have different opinions. I think the art style is great and on point. Chef kiss. We do not have a Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite moment right now where Chun-li was getting dragged on the internet. But I've seen some people calling it woke. I don't see that. That's just my opinion. But what I do see is a lot of the Street Fighter 2 roster here. It's very, very Street Fighter 2 roster, and I think it's a very safe bet, considering Street Fighter 2 is like the foundational piece of Street Fighter. It's a double-edged sword. A lot of people will love that. A lot of people will hate that. You know, mileage may vary. With that being said, I think a lot of the complaints, if there are any, come from people's favorite characters not being in the game. I know my favorite characters didn't make the cut, but there's some characters I do love in here that made the cut. But we all know these are all going to be DLC characters, so I wouldn't worry too much. One of your favorites is bound to be in here, if not already. And I saw a lot of people asking, is this even the full roster, considering there was a girl in the trailer Chun-Li was squaring off against, more like dancing all over and making a fool of her, that isn't in this roster. She looked a little bit like Sakura, but I don't think it was Sakura. So anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so obviously we have Ryu, of course. He's wearing a very similar outfit to as he usually does. You know, that's very typical of Ryu. Not much to say here. Ken, however, I really like the look. It's very rugged. I love the jacket. I heard a rumor saying, you know, he lost his kids to his wife in a divorce or something like that, so he's been out of his luck, and people are calling him a has-been. I personally think this is my favorite Ken look thus far. I'm just gonna say it. I'm here for it. And let's be super honest, anything's better than Street Fighter 5 Ken's look. That was a hot mess. They did Ken so dirty in Street Fighter 5. Ooh, so this is Ken on his comeback, despite them calling him a has-been in the game's universe. Allegedly. The game isn't out yet. Time of recording, anything could change. So next up is Zangief. It's typical Zangief. I mean, he's not in booty shorts anymore. I kind of wanted more from his look, considering like wrestlers, kind of like Tina and Lisa in Dead or Alive, their looks change, and wrestlers are very flamboyant. I was kind of hoping for something kind of like that, and you know, but it's very iconic for him to be in red, you know, red and shirtless, so I'm not really mad at it. It's just, you know, it's Zangief. And then we have Dhalsim. I love Dhalsim. He's got the beard back again. It's all right. Just like Zangief, it's very typical of his look. And like I said, I love the art style, but I kind of wanted a little bit more from him. He had a look in Street Fighter 5 that was an alternative that seemed more Indian. I really loved that. But you know, it's a typical Zangief look. There's nothing really to complain about here, but I'm just glad he's back. E Honda. I love E Honda's look. It's very sumo, and it's giving me just like, you know, a different variation on what that looks like. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with this here at all. It's pretty good. It's very, very nice. Blanca. We're at Blanca. It's Blanca. I mean, you know, what to expect? What more do we want besides Blanca just being this green troll ogre-like creature? I mean, it's Blanca. Nice yellow bandana. I'll compliment that. Now we're on to Guile. I love this look! Okay, so I have to be honest, the nostalgia has me holding on to that green army look he had, and even just that color palette, but I really do like this look. And honestly, if this was like the first look he ever came out with, I'm pretty sure I would be holding onto this look with a death grip because it's just so awesome. And you know, Guile has his guns out too. I'm really digging it. Yeah, it's just a great, really solid look for Guile. That's a win. So now we're moving on to Chun-Li. This is where some of the fans were saying it's woke. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, this looks like a combination between her classic look and her alpha look. So like, I feel like everyone that's complaining about this just doesn't know their Street Fighter histories. Chun-Li typically wears tights and leggings in a lot of her default looks, in her alpha look and her classic look. So I don't know what they're complaining about, and if this is a little bit later in the timeline and she's teaches martial arts like she did at the end of Street Fighter 3, I imagine this is kind of like a very feminine sensei look, and that seems to be on point. With that being said, it's probably my favorite default Chun-Li look. With that being said, Chun-Li has had many a great looks, so it's hard to say which is my favorite Chun-Li look, but I'm a big fan of Street Fighter 4, and she had an alternate costume in there that I really have used a lot, and this costume right now is giving me vibes of that look, and I'm so here for it. I think it's great. I think it's very feminine. I think it's very sexy. I think it pays homage to the traditional Chun-Li look, and yeah, I don't know why people are calling it woke. If people think this is what woke people are striving for, I don't know what to tell you. Moving on. So Cammy, people were complaining about Cammy too, saying she doesn't have her booty cheeks out. I thought that was hilarious. People, give me the Cammy booty cheeks. I can't make this stuff up. I mean, frankly, I can't complain too much because my favorite Cammy look is the dolls, the blue dolls look, the Killer Bee look. And but honestly, I'm not mad at this look at all. I think it's actually really, really hot and really sporty, and it's giving me Jill Valentine vibes for some reason. I have no idea why. I didn't realize it was Cammy right away, but it doesn't mean it's a bad look. I still like it. I mean, she's still got her gauntlets, and you know, that six-pack from Cammy's showing. I just love it. I love it. Ladies with six-packs, I think it's great. That's my gay opinion that nobody asked for. So moving on, we have DJ. I'm telling you, all these characters that were brought out in Street Fighter 2, like, it's just been across the board so far. Our favorite Jamaican stereotype, DJ. I'm Jamaican, so I'm just gonna take this win for what it is, and I don't know, I'm on the fence about this look. It looks like a goofy version of Eddie Gordo from Tekken 3. And considering DJ's previous alternate costumes in Street Fighter 4, I don't really know what I would change to make it better. It is what it is. I don't know. Moving on. We have Rasheed, and I love Rasheed. He is so sexy, and I love how they're just showing his body off. I'm so here for it. I know he was a fan favorite in Street Fighter 5, so I know a lot of people are going to be happy to see Rasheed back. And yeah, not much else to say. He looks good and he's showing off the body. So next up is Juri. Juri has a huge fan base, and I think she's going to be one of those characters that's here to stay on the main roster. Dare I say it, she was probably the most popular Street Fighter 4 character introduced in Street Fighter 4, I should say. But yeah, she's a very sexy character, very seductive character, very exaggerated character. She's giving me kind of like Bayonetta vibes, where she's supposed to be very campy, exaggerated and sexy and over the top. That's like a part of her character. So yeah, I want to see Juri looking very flamboyant and sexy. I think this looks very similar to her Street Fighter 4 look. I wanted more. I kind of like her Street Fighter 5 look a little bit better, but if you're a Juri fan, I imagine you don't want things to change too much and you like her just the way she is. Let me know, are you a Juri fan? Did you want to see more from this look? Are you happy with that it pays a lot of homage to the classic look? I want to know. And then we have, next up is Ed. I don't know too much about Ed. I think he appeared in Street Fighter 4. That was his first introduction. If not, it's Street Fighter 5. It's one of them. But anyways, I love it. Like Rasheed just showing off the man boobs and like the six pack and like the pecs and just looking sexy like a snack. Not much else to say. I love it, obviously. Then there is Akuma. It's Akuma. I mean, he's kind of like, you know, Blanca and Ryu, you know. There's only so much you can do with this character, but he's got to be here. He's like Ryu and Chun-li and Akuma. Those three just got to appear in like every game. It's kind of like an unwritten rule in Street Fighter at this point in time. So let's move on. We have Luke, and I believe he was a DLC character in Street Fighter V. I want to say one of the last ones. I'm surprised he's the DLC character they chose to bring over to kind of be one of the leads in Street Fighter VI. I would have put money it would have been Manat, because I think out of the Street Fighter V DLC characters and newcomers, I feel like Manat was like super popular, and it felt like it was 100% shoo-in that should be in the next game. And not as a DLC character again, but you know, whatever. I mean, I'm happy Luke's in here. I mean, I have nothing against him. I think he's a very fun character, and his moveset looks great, and his look is very much, you know, pays a lot of homage to the inspiration of his previous alternate costumes. So congrats, Luke, he's in, and we have another one for Team America. So the next up are all new characters. I don't 100% know their names. Time of recording, I believe there was a leak, and I believe these are their names. But if they're not, you know, we'll find out soon enough, so don't drag me in the comments saying, these aren't their names! The game isn't out yet. Alright, so the first character we have seems to be a female wrestler, and I believe her name is Marisa. And she seems to be a Mexican fighter, which is really cool. And she's giving me, you know, bodybuilder, femme fatale, Zarya vibes from Overwatch, if anybody plays. And she's kind of cool. I don't think she's anything we've seen before yet, which is really important, because I feel like in a lot of fighting games, eventually we get to a point where characters start to feel very redundant and very, you know, very small tweaks of the same thing we've seen before. And like, how many Bruce Lee impersonators have we seen in fighting games? Like, so many. Still love them, but we've seen them to death. And I think her character fighter style it looks pretty nice and fresh. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. The next up is a character that's been shown off in the trailers at this point in time. His name is Jamie, and I love it. Love him. He's my new Street Fighter crush, and I love his moveset. He looks like he's going to be so much fun to play. He's got this drunken fighting martial arts moveset, and he seems like a great addition, and oh my gosh, can't wait to play as him. One of my favorites of the newer characters thus far. The next character, I believe her name is either Lily or Mimi. Not sure yet. I want to say her name is Mimi. But anyways, she's fine. She's pretty. I feel we're stepping into characters that are seeming somewhat redundant. I mean, there seems to be 3 other characters on this sheet that seem to kind of have her shtick already. But the game isn't out yet. You know, she could surprise me and show me some stuff that I haven't seen before, and I'm allowed to change my mind when that time comes. So, hoping, you know, I'm surprised, you know. So the next character, like I said, her name's either Lily or Mimi, one of the two. I want to say her name is Lily. She seems to be an indigenous or Mexican fighter. I see they didn't put T-Hawk in this game, because probably, you know, I've heard a few people say he's a Native American, you know, stereotype and character, so maybe she has ties to him, and maybe this is their way of trying to fixing that. Who knows? I mean, she looks adorable. I like the look. I think it's kind of cute. Can't wait to see more of her in the trailer to really kind of formulate my opinion. I mean, all we're really going off of is just, you know, just a little picture at this point in time. She's kind of giving me it to a degree, like, you know, energy-wise, Ibuki. Like, she seems to be like that fun, playful fighter, especially since we don't have Sakura here. So I'm here for it. Let's, you know, hope she wows us too. The next character is said to be named JP, and when I first saw this picture, I thought it was Urien at first, considering I think at the end of Street Fighter V, we had, you know, some setup for the next game with who the antagonists were and stuff, so I just, on looks alone, I thought this was Urien, but they say his name is JP, so, he's giving me like the new big bad of Street Fighter 6. So, you know, there was Bison, and then there was, especially like this suit, this like awesome pimp suit. No, he's giving me like very noble look. I really like he's a very salmon colored noble. I love it. So here's hoping we see some cool stuff from him. The next character is Kimberly. So at the end of the last trailer, totally thought Kimberly, when they showed her little picture at the end of the trailer, I thought this was the girl that Chun-Li was dancing on in the middle of the street. And I didn't make the connection that character was melanated because she was so kind of overexposed, her picture. And I'm getting a better look at her now, and I love the hair. I love like the braids and the blue tips. I think that is so cute. She's American, so here's to hoping we have another black woman in Tekken. Here for it. And the costume seems pretty cute. I really dig it. I dig it. It's like a street ballerina look, kinda. I don't know. I'm really here for it. Like, could you imagine if we had some black ballerina action in Street Fighter? Like, that'd be so cool to me. I don't know. I'm so here for it. So far, she's one of the characters I'm most excited for, next to Jamie. Super excited. But realistically, I'm probably gonna play as Cammy or Chun-Li. We'll see. I was super excited for Manat, but like her playstyle is very challenging for me, so I just kind of like fell back on Cammy because I'm a Cammy main. But yeah, let's see here. The next character is named AKI or Aki, and she seems to be this very, you know, femme fatale, vampire, undead-like character. I'm so here for it. She reminds me a lot of Lust from Full Metal Alchemist or Lady Demetresque from Resident Evil. And watch her be like Cammy's arch nemesis in this next game, giving me the Resident Evil vibes for some reason. I have no idea why. It's probably the nails in the dress. But yeah, she seems to be like this Chinese undead character. So move over, Hishinko. Capcom's, you know, dancing in your lane right now in Street Fighter. Overall, the roster seems alright. I mean, one of my favorite characters aside from Cammy have really made it in here, but the new characters have me very optimistic. And I think that with such a heavy emphasis on Street Fighter 2, there's definitely a character in here that was someone's favorite at some point in time. So I think, like I said, it's a very safe roster, and I'm hoping to be impressed by the newcomers. The game itself looks really solid, and I can't wait to play it. There are some characters I was hoping were going to be in the base roster, and for all we know, this isn't even the base roster. There could be DLC characters on the way. You guys know Capcom loves its DLC characters and loves its re-releasing of Street Fighter games, so there's no doubt we're going to see more characters. But the characters I was hoping for, I'm going to go through them quickly, was my favorite Street Fighter characters, Poison, and I love the Metro City and Final Fight characters. Bring them back, give them to me. I saw some of them make some cameos in the background. So we'll see. I don't know if Poison will be back. Throw Cody in there too. I love Cody. Let's bring him back. And then next up, I would love to see Vega. Vega, I am so surprised Vega's not in here considering how much love these Street Fighter 2 characters got. I thought Vega would be in here, no problem at all. But maybe they're just kind of taking a step back from the Shadow Lu side of things. I'm not really sure. But I know Vega fans are probably just shook right now, clenching their pearls like, what? I like Vega. I think he's very hard to play as, and it's not my play style, but I know a lot of people adore Vega. So next up, I thought Manat would have been in this game for sure. I think the fans adored Manat, and for her not to be in here, I'm just surprised. I think out of the Street Fighter V characters that were new, I feel like she was like the most popular character out of all the Street Fighter V characters. Like, I feel like she was the Jury. She was what Jury was for Street Fighter IV. I think the biggest caveat for Manat is I think she is not exactly a user-friendly character for, like, you know, casual players. Like, I think she's more of an expert-level character. And with that being said, throw Rose in there too. I'm surprised Rose is such a slept-on character in the Street Fighter universe. I feel like she was kind of created to be like the counterpart to go against M. Bison. So you think just by that alone she'd be a lot more important in the Street Fighter lore, but they just kind of like don't know what to do with her character. So it's Street Fighter 6, and I feel like Capcom still doesn't know what to do with her character. But I love Rose. I really love the tarot motif and the mysticism, and I wish we had a little bit more of that in the roster. But hey, we have an undead vampire zombie-like character, so you know there's something there. And next up, Street Fighter 4. My favorite character in Street Fighter 4 that was introduced in Street Fighter 4 was Crimson Viper, and I'm surprised we have not seen her back. I think her last appearance was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I thought she was a really well-designed character. Her moveset was super fun to play with, and the way they promoted her character in a lot of the Street Fighter commercials and gameplay and other games, I'm surprised we haven't seen the character come back. I thought she was phenomenal, and she's been nowhere to be seen since. She's just living her best life with her daughter. Oh well. So next up is, I thought we'd see some more Street Fighter 3 love, considering I believe this game could potentially take place after Street Fighter 3, so I'm surprised we don't see Gil or Alex in here, or Elena. I love the Street Fighter 3 cast. I know when it first came out, people were a bit surprised because the roster was so different, but I really love Street Fighter 3, and I just wish that more of that was reflected in here. I feel like if this takes place after Street Fighter 3 on the timeline, it would be really surprising how like this game just glazes over that cast and doesn't really touch it too much, because Street Fighter 3 is a very important part and very underrated part of the Street Fighter lore. I think I would love to see those characters return in more. I think we got to see a lot of them in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. You got to see a little bit of Street Fighter 3 love in there, but let's bring some more love for them in the main games, hey? And not as DLC characters. Okay, so next up for the last character that I'm surprised we're not seeing here is Sakura. I know so many people love Sakura up and down, and for her not to make the base roster again, I'm really surprised how Capcom is not putting some of their favorites in the main roster and just saving them for DLC. And I understand you can't please everybody unless you're Tekken Tag Tournament. But it is what it is. I mean, we'll see. I mean, frankly, this is not even the confirmed roster. This is a leak, so maybe it's very possible this is just a leak out of a book, like a character art book or something. I mean, it could very well actually be the leaked roster. We'll see. We had an emphasis on Metro City, so it's a big surprise to me we don't have more Metro City characters. I love the Final Fight characters. Heck, I even love the Rival School characters, and I'm surprised we're not seeing some of them too, because Capcom and Street Fighter teased them as DLC characters in the last Street Fighter game, so I'm like, where are they at? I want to see more of them. If you haven't played Final Fight or Rival Schools, highly recommend. There's some classics, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So what did you think of the roster? Are you here for it? Are you not here for it? Are you just going to buy it because it's Street Fighter and you don't really give a F what they put out because you're a fan through and through? What do you think of the new costumes? Let me know. I want to hear in the comments below. All right, me Jinx, signing out. And before I go, tickle that like button, because I'm into that sort of thing, and leave a comment to support that algorithm, because you know YouTube don't be showing my videos off all the time. All right, take it easy. Bye.